Steve, Bryce West is a pretty darn good cornerback, arguably the best in the nation, top 5, best in the Buckeye State, according to 247 Sports. And he is now an Ohio State Buckeye. At least he's made that commitment.
Yeah, and also you think about all the guys from Cleveland Glenville over the years that have committed to Ohio State. They're kind of rebuilding that pipeline again after a few down years at Glenville. They won a state championship this past season at Glenville, their first. So good times are starting to roll again up there. Listed 5'11", 177. I think he might be a little bit bigger than that. The composite, he is number 49 overall in the composite. But that's kind of driven down. But for some reason, our network, 247 Sports, has him ranked as the number 15 cornerback and number 159 player overall nationally. And I need to put our guys, Alan True and Steve Wiltfong, their feet to the fire and find out, no love for Bryce West. Like what's going on there? Why isn't he ranked a little higher? But every other network's got him in the top 50, obviously, because that's where he is in the composite. So tremendous get for Ohio State. Picked the Buckeyes and was also right there with Michigan. Had just made a visit to Michigan as well before visiting Ohio State. Ohio State really pulled out all the stops on the visit for all these guys. West, Demarion Witten, the other player there from Glenville as well. But West, he committed to Ohio State. It was in a video that was posted online Friday night, but that video kind of got leaked out ahead of time, and he went official with it, let's just say, then on Saturday. So it is a done deal, finally, and Bryce West helping Ohio State kind of rebuild that cornerback position. Buckeyes still trying to also get Aaron Scott, who's also similarly ranked from Springfield, Ohio, just about 50 miles down the road west of Columbus, trying to get him in the fold as well. So we'll see if they can close the door on Aaron Scott as well.
Tony, the Buckeyes get a good one. Unfortunately, he can't suit up this fall.
Well, yeah, that is unfortunate. Personally, I think maybe one of the reasons there's some rankings disparity is because Bryce West will play all over in the secondary. He's not just an outside corner. And so maybe other corners have been rated higher because they are just this outside corner. And you have all of this film, i.e. huddle highlights, to rank these guys off of, where with Bryce West, sometimes he's at corner, sometimes he's in nickel, sometimes he'll just move around because that's what Glenville's defense does. So I wonder if maybe that has something to do with it, but it also definitely goes back to camps. And did you camp at the Rivals camp? No, I camped at the ESPN Under Armour camp. Well, you shouldn't have done that. You should have camped at this camp. And sometimes there are those things that go on. Steve mentioned like the Southeast rankings. I mean, that was always the belief or the conspiracy theory with like Rivals, because they're based in Tennessee, and they would rank the SEC players higher. ESPN obviously would rank the SEC players higher because of their contractual obligations with the SEC. However, I think we also realized that the majority of the nation's best players, like a lot of them, come from the southeastern portion of the United States. So I don't think you can just continue to say there's a conspiracy theory, although like back, a decade ago with ESPN, when you would look at who their scouts were and where they were located, they had like 8 in the Southeast and 1 in the Midwest. So, how much can you see if you're the Midwest scout as opposed to what the eight guys in the Southeast were able to, the ground they were able to cover. But Bryce West, I think there might also be this thing where if you're not even sure he's the best corner in the state. So if you're not sure he's the best corner in the state, how good could he be nationally? If you're not the best corner in Ohio, how could you be a top 5 corner nationally? I wonder if there's some of that going on. But, certainly a good get, and a guy that can, in my opinion, end up anywhere in the secondary. And maybe that's also a fault, that he could play several spots.
Yeah, I sent Mark a link to the video that Mark Porter, the guy who does videos for us, posted on our site. And, it's going to be, you can do the best you can with it. But this play here, he's returning a punt, I believe, and just runs away from everybody. There'll be most of the plays that are coming up on defense. He is working as in this case a run support player, and he sticks his nose in there.
Mhm.
Again, he's tracking one down the field. Coming up here, there's another one. He's got to track the play down the field and
He's
stop the
fast.
touchdown. Yeah, he's got the ability. Okay, now you're going to see in the open field coming up, and he is fearless. He is absolutely fearless. This doesn't bother him to come up and
Mhm.
stick his nose in and make a play as a run support player. So when I saw these plays, I'm thinking like an Antoine Winfield, which is a long time ago, obviously at Ohio State, or a Malcolm Jenkins, a guy that comes up and makes plays both in the pass game and in the run game. And that is something that you absolutely cannot teach a player. Most guys are looking to avoid contact. He's saying we got to get the ball carrier down regardless. Now, the next few plays, it's going to shift, I think, to some passing coverage and what he does in terms of coverage. Looks like he's got good positioning and good ball awareness. In some of these, it looks like he's the offensive player because he's got more of a play on the ball. I know those are hard to see, with the screen set up the way that it is. But for me, I look at it and again, he is a guy that is going to be an outstanding corner, I think, at Ohio State. I don't think there's much doubt about that.